Somewhere along the way, we stopped steering our own lives and gave away our agency to forces outside ourselves. Our notifications, the media, the noise, the deadlines, and autopilot habit loops. We wake up already tense, reacting, rushing, and feeling like we're always behind. We eat what's easiest, say things we don't mean, and drift through days that don't even feel like ours. And then, by the end of it, we realize we didn't actually choose a single thing today. No wonder we feel scattered, anxious, lost, and disconnected. Let's talk about it. Most of us live on autopilot, repeating reactions, habits, patterns, and beliefs without noticing. Don't get me wrong, autopilot is not the enemy. It is actually vital for our efficiency. But it becomes dangerous when that autopilot isn't yours, when habits are programmed by tech, culture, and old beliefs. That's what it feels like to lose sovereignty, when life starts living you instead of you living life. You become this passive character, forgetting that you are the author of your own story and that you can reclaim your sovereignty. Honestly, the hardest part is noticing it, because autopilot feels so normal when we're in it. And believe me, I'm not just saying this to you, I'm also saying this to myself, because far too often I slip into this mode myself. And no matter how many times I rise to the highs of my values, I fall back to the baseline of my autopilot habits. But that's all it is, habits. And habits are just practiced actions. So, how does it feel to lose sovereignty? In my observation, it shows up in 4 often quiet disconnections. Life feels like it's happening to you. Your days run you. Patterns repeat and you don't connect the dots between your actions and your outcomes. Misalignment and tension between what you value and how you live. Attention hijacked, energy scattered, and goals always being postponed to tomorrow. At its root, sovereignty means knowing that your choices, your habits, your focus are yours to direct. But the truth is, we give away our authorship all the time, often without even noticing. We give it away when we let the day start before we do, reacting to messages, notifications, and noise as soon as we open our eyes in the morning, letting what we see on our phones dictate what we think about for the rest of the day. We give it away when we move through the day, reacting out of habit, fear, guilt, or convenience instead of awareness, running at a pace that was set by the world before we check in with our own rhythm, mistaking busyness for productivity, leading to burnout and mental crises. When we forget to be present, truly present with the people we love, because our mind is somewhere else entirely. That's what it feels like to lose sovereignty. To let outside forces govern our internal actions. Drift instead of direct, react instead of respond. But sovereignty can be rebuilt, slowly, choice by choice, through simple awareness. I've come up with 3 pillars that help you regain that awareness and feel like you're the one steering the ship of your life through discernment, ownership, and design. Let me explain. Discernment is the first act of taking the reins back. It's the skill of seeing clearly, of pausing long enough to question the status quo, societal norms, your thoughts and your habits. Being willing to ask, is this true? Who benefits if I believe this? What if I test this out for myself before accepting, believing, or reacting to anything? We live in a time of constant input, endless opinions, advice, information. Knowledge is everywhere, but so is misinformation. Too often we accept information passively. Discernment means being aware of how you get your knowledge. If we don't actively question things, facts, assumptions, incentives, someone else will happily fill in those blanks for you. Either it's corporations, advertising, government messaging, social media, culture, you name it. You can still listen to people, but take it with a grain of salt. Let what you hear be an invitation to dig deeper, an invitation to do your own research and come up with your own conclusions. Read past the headline, turn the package around and actually read the ingredients. Question the rule you've followed since childhood. Notice when you adopted a belief just because everyone around you did. Sovereignty begins the moment you stop taking facts at face value, when you become curious, turn on your own critical thinking, and filter your beliefs and knowledge ruthlessly. Ownership is about connecting the dots, realizing that the results you're living today are the direct consequence of your past actions, and that the future will be shaped by the choices you make next. Owning the fact that your reality, physical, mental, emotional, is shaped by your choices. For me, the body is the clearest mirror of this. It has the capacity to look and feel its absolute best, but also its absolute worst, and none of it is random, simply a reflection of what you do to it. Every symptom, the fatigue, the brain fog, skin problems, chronic tension, stubborn weight, low energy, whatever it is, all of that is information. The body is a vessel, intuitive, responsive, honest. It mirrors the inputs you give it. Food, sleep, movement, nature, stress, tension change the input, and the reflection changes too. So when you say, I don't like my body, what you're actually saying is, I don't like how I'm currently treating my body. Once I had this realization, this was a huge moment of clarity for me, because this way of looking at it gives you back your full power. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances and realize that your biology is just responding to your behavior. The same is true for everything else in life. Relationships, career, finances, your home life, creativity. Every system is perfectly designed to get the result that it gets. If you don't like the result, change the system. That's sovereignty. That doesn't mean blaming yourself. It means recognizing the feedback loop between your actions and your outcomes. Because when you stop fighting the circumstance and start changing what creates it, you realize you were never powerless. You just lost the connection. Once you realize that your actions shape your outcomes, the next step is shaping the circumstances that shape your actions. If you think about it, no thought is truly random. Every thought, every action is triggered by something. A smell can suddenly bring forth a distant memory. Someone's smile might remind you of an old friend. A passing thought can lead to an inspired idea, an impulse, or a decision. Each link in that step sparks the next, like a domino effect of cause and effect. In that sense, most of what we do each day isn't rational or spontaneous. It's a reaction to the previous thought, the previous action, or a cue in our surroundings. We like to think that we're in charge, but most of the time we're just responding to cues around us, which means the environment becomes crucial for shaping our autopilot behaviors. It's the silent co-author of your choices. Autopilot is trained by what's around you. Your kitchen setup, your social circle, your phone notifications, they all quietly influence how you think and how you act. We think we're making independent choices, but really, environment writes half the script. If you surround yourself with clutter, chaos, distractions, temptations, your mind will mirror that. But if you fill your environment with things that align with who you want to be, with books, nourishing food, small cues to remind you of your goals, then you start triggering thoughts and actions that support this version of you. Sovereignty means designing your environment so the easy choice aligns with your values. Want to snack less? Don't keep it in the house. Want to feel sharper? Put on clothes that make you show up as your best self. Want to be focused? Leave your phone out of the room and silence your notifications. Sovereignty means taking responsibility not only for your choices, but for the conditions that shape those choices, and designing your environment so that the easiest path is truly aligned with who you want to be. Unfortunately, most people don't consciously choose their lives. They sort of drift into it, with jobs, relationships, habits. Sure, up to a point we're all shaped by our stories or where we came from, whether it's family patterns, survival strategies, beliefs we picked up along the way, or the culture we swam in. But there comes a moment when you realize that you've been living on autopilot, not by conscious design, but as a reaction to what's around you. And if you've done this long enough, at some point the excuse, this is just how I was raised, becomes your choice to perpetuate old patterns. And this is what happened to me becomes your identity that keeps you stuck. Because you're not just what made you, you are what you practice. Sovereignty doesn't mean denying what formed you, it means deciding what continues through you. It's not about being perfect or being aware 100% of the time. It's about noticing when you've slipped into autopilot and regaining the wheel back. You're not guilty for every outcome, but you are responsible for how you respond, what you learn from it, and what you choose to do next. So tonight, before you go to bed, ask yourself one question. Did I steer today, or did today steer me? Tomorrow, notice just one habit loop and simply pause before acting. No punishment, no control, just awareness. Say, I notice I chose that. Why? Was it out of stress, fear, convenience, or just out of habit? Then, choose again. That's how awareness becomes a muscle, built one conscious decision at a time. And that's how you stop being only a product of your past, start being an author of your future.